In this session, we're going to talk about two tools that allow you to create virtual tours that take your students to different places. Google Earth is a powerful tool that allows you to immerse your students virtually in an environment of the target language community. We can basically take our students to any locations on this earth and allow students to see with their eyes how people live there, the historic sites, and cultural practices. When you go to Google Earth, this is the first page you are going to see. It only works with Chrome, so we have to launch Earth in Chrome. So click on it. It takes several seconds to load. To specify a location that you want to view, you go to this search icon, click on it, and type any place you want to see on this earth. For instance, I want to look at Beijing. Beijing, China. Okay, it zooms in and takes you to Beijing. You can choose to zoom in or zoom out here. For famous locations, there is usually an information page like this. If you click on it, it gives you some information about that location. What I found interesting and useful is this list of points of interest. There are several related sites in Beijing or near Beijing that you can also jump to. For instance, I want to look at the Forbidden City where the ancient emperors lived. I click on it. It takes me to the Forbidden City, and you have this bird view of it. A feature that I like a lot is this little person right here. If you click on it, it shows you these blue dots. Once you click on one of them, here, it shows you the street view of it. It's a 360-degree image that you can just drag to see this place from different angles. When you're done with it, you can click on the little person again and it takes you out of the street view. So instead of bringing your students to the actual site, which usually involves spending a lot of money buying the plane tickets, etc., you can bring the world into your classroom. There are many tools that are built upon Google Earth to create a more interesting or comprehensive virtual tour. This is the one I like the most because the operation is very easy. Students can even create their own virtual tour on their own. If you get started, click on it. You can add a new tour. Say if I want to create a tour of Taipei. I can add descriptions about this tour here. I can upload a cover photo. So let's do a drag and drop and add a cover photo. I create it. Now I'm inside this tour. Say the first scene I want to include in this tour is Taipei 101. That's the tallest building in Taipei. So I search for place. I type Taipei 101. The first randomly selected view may or may not be the one you like. If it's not the one you would like to include for your tour, you can go to this map. There's this person. You can move it to wherever you want the scene to be. So when you move around it, it shows you different options. So this outside view might be the one I like to include in this tour. I click on Add Scene. And the name of this scene is Taipei 101. You can add description of it. The thing I like the most is that you can add point of interest on this view. Click on it. It allows you to place an info icon on it. So for instance, I want to have an interest point here. You can enter a title for this point of interest. Taipei 101 building. The thing I like the most about it is with this point of interest, you can add an image overlay and or a narration with it. Say I want to add an image overlay. I click on it. You can drag, drop, or select an image. I drag and drop this image to it, add. So here, once the viewer clicks on this info icon, they will see this photo. You can also add a site narration. When you click on it, you can drag drop an audio file or select an audio file. And you can listen to it before you add it.
101大楼是台北最高的大楼。
That's me saying Taipei 101 is the tallest building in Taipei. If I like it, I add it. Now when the user clicks on the info icon that represents the point of interest, they can also listen to my recording. I can add more points of interest on it. Say I want to add one here, which is the department store that is located in the first several levels of this building. And again, I can add a text description. I can add an image. I can add a narration to it. If I want to add more scene to this tour, I can go to Add Scene. Click on it. So other than Taipei 101, National Palace Museum is also a famous site in Taipei. So I find it here. This is a National Palace Museum. I add scene, and I can repeat the same procedure to add more points of interest on this scene. Once you're satisfied with the content of this tour, you can publish it. Click on Publish. You can choose to publish it as an unlisted or public tour. Public means anyone can search and access it. Unlisted means only the people who you share this link with can view it. So let's publish it as an unlisted tour. And publish. And here's the link you can share with your students. Now let's see how the tour looks like. Let's view tour. This is what it looks like from the viewer's point of view. You can drag around it. And here we find our first point of interest. You click on it. You see the picture. But remember, we also had a narration to go with it. We don't hear it automatically. This is something you want to remind your viewers, that in order to hear the narration, they have to do some setup. So go to this gear icon, click on it, turn narration on.
101大楼是台北最高的大楼。
So from now on, when they click on a point of interest, they can hear the narration. They only need to do it once for the whole tour. This is a very powerful and useful tool for you to introduce a historic or cultural site of the target language community, or you can even assign your students to do a research project on a certain site of the target culture.